Welcome to Midlife Unlimited Life for Five. I'm your host, Kate Porter, the Midlife Metamorphosis Coach, and I'm delighted to be joined by my episode 35. We're racking them up. Guest, founder of Dead Organised, Louise Monaghan, to give a taste of our episode that's available today, now, wherever you listen to your podcasts, how to make midlife dead simple or dead easy. I think it's dead easy, dead simple. Anyway,
Deadpool.
welcome, Louise. It's fabulous to have you here. Right, deep breath. Our episode is twofold, and we're going to be sharing some golden nuggets, but it really is packed with tips and advice for the 61% of sandwich generation carers that are women. You
Yeah.
and I, part of that, or I have been.
Yeah.
But also what we can do to make it easier when our time comes. And it's not morbid, it's a positive episode, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's really positive, and I want Dead Organised to be really positive. And that's what I want Dead Organised to do, is to take away the overwhelm, to help with the overwhelm at least, so that it doesn't become a burden. It should be a privilege. If you are caring for an aging loved one, you want that to be a privilege. You get to do it rather than you have to do it.
Yeah.
So to make it as enjoyable and hassle-free as possible, so that you can just get on with being with that person and enjoying your time with that person. So yeah,
And it's not just us thinking, oh, what should we? This is a real problem, isn't it? I
it's
mean,
huge. Yeah,
we've both been through it, going through it, and it seems to be that it falls to us Gen X women
yeah,
more than men. It
yeah.
can be a potential nightmare, can't it?
Yeah, it can be, and lots of families can fall out over it. There's, more often than not, there's always one sibling who does more than the others, whether that's if they live closer or one family member. I mean, not everyone has children, so it's and so it's helping with that. It's being a community, and it's having people who are understanding and get it,
Yeah.
and that's for the people who are like us, who are in it. And then we also have the side of it which is helping us start to think about our own aging and how we can the likelihood of us living to be 100 is a lot more likely than it
Yeah.
used to be.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
so let's do it. 50 is halfway.
Yeah.
There are fantastic organizations doing amazing things specifically for women as well, midlife women. As you well know, that there's a huge revolution happening in this area. And but yeah, like you said, it is mainly women doing it. We don't want it to be that way. It's, we men are welcome on the platform too, but it's starting the conversations about our elderly loved ones, about ourselves, and moving forward, changing it, making it better, so that we have something better.
And I say I love our conversation because it is so empowering, and it is about not letting lives fade away, celebrating life now, which we don't do enough, having the conversations about death, making it a talked about subject, but in a positive, not a morbid way. And there are
Yeah,
new phrases that I've learned. You've got to tune in, viewers, to carence,
yeah,
sadmin. And
yeah,
you know what I'm going to say now? I'm going to ask you to pronounce this one, and we're going to have a quick talk about that.
yeah.
Dos, how do we say it? Dos.
Stagning, I think. I'm not Swedish, but
That's
I
how
think
we're going with it,
yeah, that's how we're going
which
with it.
is
That's
death cleaning.
Yeah, exactly. Death cleaning, written the gentle art of death cleaning, of Swedish death cleaning, a book written by Margareta Magnusson, and she talks about how we should start to think about what we're going to leave behind for our children or for our families. And so often, and sadmin, when you're dealing with all of the paperwork you have to deal with when somebody dies, and then clearing out a family home is just so painful. That can also be another very stressful, upsetting time. If you also haven't made it clear who's getting that, and who, if somebody, what, it's all about
and
getting.
why they've held on to this stuff,
And
why
then
we're holding on to this stuff. And another thing, photos. And there was a lovely story that I forgot to actually mention or ask you to talk about in our actual full-length episode, available wherever you listen to your podcast. But your mum's Busby photographs, because photographs are so important. And when someone does pass, a loved one, and we're talking about living a long, healthy life, we're not talking about sudden death. We're talking about
exactly.
being able to prepare and talk
Yeah,
about it and get dead organized.
yeah,
But how many of us have lost a loved one and then opened a shoebox and found
yeah,
who are photographs? Who
yeah,
are all these people? And
yeah.
you said your mum's Busby photographs.
Yeah, so my mum's from Manchester, and her family are were very close with the Sir Matt Busby's family, and my uncle was a bookie, and her uncle, and she spent a lot of time with the Man United team, the Busby Babes, and the families are very close. So she has a lot of photos with Matt Busby, and then there's this other photo of my grandma, so of her mum and her uncle, and they're all sat around a table. They're obviously at some fancy do. It's a really cool black and white photo. But one of the guys in the photo, obviously I have no idea who he is. And my mum said, "Oh, that's Dr. Mora," I think she said his name. And he's the guy who saved Matt Busby's life after the Munich air disaster. And just something like that, a real United fan, it's a huge thing. So I mean, to be fair, my brother would have known, or there would have been family members who knew. But for me to hear that story, I wanted to know more, and I wanted the story. And
As you say, it's a beautiful way of creating legacies, isn't it? Because
yeah,
having the conversations now, and that's why I say it's a two-way thing, because by following your advice and your tips on the Dead Organised platform, and you share so much in our episode, and thank you for that. And so much of it will be springboard information, I think, as well. But by taking those practical steps, if anything, we hopefully free up more of those precious moments. And I say
yeah,
we might be talking 10 years, we might be talking 20, we just don't know.
yeah.
But those, to actually have the conversations and create the memories, and I mean, we talk about, like biographies and videos and films. There are so many opportunities, aren't there?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, you cut off a bit there. I
That's
didn't
what
hear.
we just
But
the gremlins.
yeah, the gremlins are creeping in. But it's like when you're pregnant, before you have a baby, there's an awful lot of information, there's an awful lot of talk, there's an awful lot of preparation, and we know what we're doing, and but we don't do it about death, but we know it's inevitable for all of us. And it also doesn't mean it's imminent if you're preparing, if you're doing
No.
this. We don't talk about end of life at all on the platform. That's not what it
And
is.
we don't really in the episode, but
Not
it's
at all.
again, I mean, it's like
Yeah.
I was 56 last month, and it's like, right, if I start getting sorted now and clearing out, and we say this whole death cleaning, it's not about going in with a massive bin liner and throwing everything away. It's not decluttering, it's sensitive sorting. Um,
Yes. Yeah.
but it's a matter of, if I start doing it now, then I'm freeing up my son's time. It's just such a powerful thing, such a
Yeah.
powerful thing. Now, I know
Yeah.
there are going to be people watching this and tuning into our full-length episode who will want to find out more, who will want to get in touch with you, because it is such an important gap, I think, that you're filling here, and you're bringing so much together, and I thank you for that. But all your details are in the show notes for our episode, and
Yeah.
your profile is on the Midlife Unlimited podcast website. But
Yeah.
for viewers, can you just talk us through how they can find you, how they can get into contact with you?
Well, the website is being updated as we speak. But there will be something on there that will have my contact details if you just want to have a chat. And then once the website's complete, it'll have all the different services and everything on there. And that's dead-organized.com. And then there's an Instagram page, dead_.com.
Yep.
No, Dead
Dead_Organised. Yeah.
Organised, and a Facebook group as well, which we're trying to grow. I haven't done anything with that. I'm rubbish on Facebook.
I've joined it.
Oh, good. Oh, fantastic. So,
But we'll make sure that all your links are up to date and live, obviously, in the show notes and on the Midlife Unlimited podcast website. So
yeah,
they can go and find you there. And I look forward to finding out more as it grows, because I'm delighted to be here right from the, well, not from the very start, but I think this is such an exciting development, opportunity, all of the above. And if you want to get in contact with me, obviously head over to the show notes for our episode and the Midlife Unlimited podcast website, where there's details of my VIP midlife metamorphosis coaching offers. So thank you ever so much for joining me now to give a little taste of some golden nuggets from our episode. And I look forward to finding out more and more over the coming weeks and months about Dead Organised.
brilliant.
Thank you for watching our little taster video. And here's to living Midlife Unlimited. Talk to you soon, Louise. Thank you.
Thanks, Kate.